What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Craven Wild podcast episode. This is episode 61, and we have on Cody. I'm not going to say his last name because I'm not going to disrespect him. There's no way I'll be able to pronounce that right. Cody's from the Backcountry PA podcast, and we linked up with these guys. I started talking to him about a couple months ago about getting together and getting them on the show, and we finally were able to, align schedules and get everything together, and we had Cody on, and it was a good time. Cody's a good dude. I would tell you guys to go check them out. Check out their podcast. Listen to what they say. They've been in the business for a while. So they have a lot of episodes. They got a lot of content. They do both video and audio, obviously. So this episode, we talk about, we talk about how much we hate doing podcasts. And we talk about cloning animals to hunt them. So if you're in for I don't even know what you would call that. We talk a little bit about what he's doing right now and the wardrobe malfunction that he had. So other than that, man, guys, we're in that like weird time of the year, right? Where we just don't really have a direction on what we're doing yet. Some of us are, putting cams out. Some of us are pulling cams. Like everyone's just kind of doing their own thing right now. So this is just normal conversation about, with two podcast brands, really. And God only knows where that's going to go. So hold on tight and enjoy. This one's it's a little bit different than what we typically do. So I actually enjoy these because it's a breath of fresh air, and it's kind of like a breath of, reality on the backside of these podcasts. So other than that, nothing's changed as far as the CWC, that is the Craving Wild Championship. Where are we at here? I can barely read, but Eddie's in first, Antonio's in second, I'm in third, and I think we're separated by like 20 points. So it's going to come down to turkey season. And as much as I hate turkeys, I'm going to have to spend time in the woods because, I have to win. It is what it is. I just have to win. Probably won't, though. I'll probably give up a weekend and start trout fishing for a week, give up for that, and then I'll get right back into shooting my bow. Other than that, guys, nothing crazy. We had plans on going video. We still have plans on going video, but we just took a hit on one of the cameras, so one of the big cameras. So we're gonna have to get that figured out. So that's gonna put a halt on things for a little bit, which is fine. There's plenty of other videos you guys can look at in the meantime, and you probably really don't want to be looking at us anyway. That's why we started a podcast in the first place. All right, guys, we will get you into this week's episode. Enjoy.
Definitely help a lot of people, and with the podcast that we're doing, I don't mind helping anybody, man. I think I get a kick out of it. That's like taking somebody hunting for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like you take them to your spots that you wouldn't tell somebody else, but you take them, and I guess it's just fun. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, the spots thing is interesting. I took someone to a spot once, and they kind of blew it up because they took one of their other friends, which probably took one of their other friends, and it was like, and now the spot sucks. So
yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I still give people spots all the time.
I give them bad spots sometimes.
Like a test spot.
I give in spots that I'm not gonna hunt, but they seem like a good spot to see if they did good, and I'll be like, "Oh, that was a good spot." I'm just gonna go and creep in there.
yeah. Like give them a spot where they're just gonna see like some doe here and there. Like there's a good doe action. Like no matter if they blow it out or not, it's still gonna be good doe action. Give them that spot, and then it's like you have nothing to worry about at that point.
It's a fucking pyramid scheme.
I hate those people.
It sure is. It very is. When you do it right, you do gain spots too. Like people give you spots, you give them spots. It all kind of bounces around. I don't think there's any spot nowadays that's not been touched already before you.
Yeah. No, I used to think that I had a cabin in Clinton County, and it was surrounded by 60,000 acres. But every time I would go in there, it was really hard access to get to behind my cabin. But I always thought, like, what if I'm like the first person to ever touch this spot? And then you start putting trail cameras up there, and then all of a sudden you start seeing people up there. It's like, all right, well, clearly that's not the case.
Yeah. Yeah, you get that like in your head, and then 30 yards later, you see a Reese's wrapper on the ground. And you're like, oh well, there goes that
Pretty
idea.
much.
And a Busch Light can.
Shotgun shells.
Yeah,
It's mine. Every time I'm somewhere, I'm like, oh shit, there's nobody here. It's fucking 17 shotgun shells in the floor.
Oh, that shotgun shell could be old. Look at it; it's rusted.
Yeah. Good.
That's from the 70s.
Before we get any further, why don't you tell the listeners what the Backcountry PA podcast is?
Yeah. So, first, thanks for having me on the podcast here. Really appreciate it. The podcast started back in 2019. It's pretty much was a camp mentality type podcast where you can sit around the campfire and just bullshit about really anything. And then it slowly transformed into something where, you kind of help maybe newer hunters get, on deer or be more successful, or they can hear a camp camaraderie story out of the podcast. Like, just to bring back more of the traditional podcast that, I think people want to hear or like to hear, certain people anyway. Like, I know there's a lot of tips and tactics to go along with the podcast, but that's just to really draw in listeners if you want to be honest. But yeah, it's mostly just a hunting podcast that it's all about whitetails. Like, I'm addicted to whitetails, so that's what it's about.
Hell yeah, man! You hit the nail on the head with the. There's something you can only like tip and tactic somebody with whitetails for so long, and it's like, all right, guys, we're all literally just saying the same thing
On repeat.
Yes.
Yeah, the clickbaity titles, where it's like, oh, these, like, I've done it. I'll be honest, like, I've done it a few times, but it's, you run a podcast, you like to see how many listens you can get on a podcast, so you put that maybe clickbaity title up there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, everyone's doing it. Like, it's like, oh, rut hunting 101, or scrape week, or whatever.
Scrape week.
Come October, the last week of October to the first week of November, it's literally scrape week, or like that. I don't even know what scrape week is, honestly. Like, I don't even follow it. I just know that that's like a big one around that time frame.
Yep, scrape week is a good one.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's just like you were saying earlier, like competing with the AI. Like, you have to compete with the wordage, like the wordplay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's annoying. We do it like just to be assholes sometimes. Like, we'll Google like motivational quotes. And then just randomly put a quote, a picture that makes no sense, just to kind of be like assholes about it.
Yeah,
I've done it for a few. Like, I like when I think of a name of a title, I think maybe ChatGPT would give me a better name for the title if I just put that title in. Be like, hey, what's a better name, or how would you reword this to make it sound a little better?
Mm-hmm.
And like it was like having an argument with me, pretty much, saying that they don't understand what I'm saying, and I'm like, I'm putting everything in that you want right now. You have a 45-minute argument with ChatGPT and then I think of the title anyway, like 5 minutes into it.
Right.
I'm just going to win this argument with ChatGPT.
but maybe that's his technique for you to argue, and it'll be like, oh, this is the title.
It gets you going. It gets your brain going.
Maybe. Oh, that's a
does.
good. I'm gonna start doing that.
does.
You just gotta start thinking your titles like when you're a little irritated and like pissed off. That's when you get the good ones.
That is. I could not agree more with that.
Oh, that's hilarious. So what kind of like guests do you guys typically have on? Do you have on just mostly PA guys, or like kind of how do you split that time?
So we have PA guys on the podcast. Like we have a good amount of them, but honestly, we've had people from all over. Like our first guest, I remember it was like 20 episodes in to the podcast, and this guy from Montana messaged us and was like, hey, I'm a guide out here in Montana. I do backcountry hunting. And obviously with our name, Backcountry PA, I guess he kind of thought that we, backcountry hunted. But we don't do the whole tenting thing or anything like that. Like the name came from because we had cabins up in Clinton, Potter County, and we thought that was like backcountry hunting where you can go out there, you can camp and all that kind of stuff. So that's where it came from. And people don't think there's backcountry hunting in Pennsylvania. But he reached out to us, and that was our first guest. And then after that, it kind of snowballed into like a bunch of other guests from all over. Like we've had some from Florida, from Texas, you name the state. It's from Massachusetts, good amount from Western Pennsylvania. We have some good in-person guests that I love the in-person guests because it's more like, I don't know, it's you can, I don't know, it's just a different vibe. But I don't think we do a single episode without a guest on the podcast now, because just it's easy now to find guests. Like once you start building this, like, I guess, name, you just reach out to people and be like, hey, you want to come on and talk?
Yeah.
I think people are starting to be more open to the podcast idea too. Like they're not as scared by it. Like it's like nah, dude. Like we're literally just gonna talk for an hour about hunting. Like that's just what we do.
Yep.
And everybody seems to take it pretty well, for at least for on our end of things.
Yeah. No, I'm same here. Like Derek Nace came on the podcast. He never was on a podcast before. He's a PA guy. He's from Perry County. And he messaged us out of the blue and was like, hey, I heard my one friend on your podcast. I'd like to come on your podcast. And this dude is an absolute killer. Like, he hunts, that's one of those episodes where I put the rut during the rut, and it was a good episode. But, yeah, it's cool to have those unnamed guests on the podcast or unknown guests on the podcast and really pick their brain when it's a different feel. Like, when you have people on the podcast that are used to being on one, it's kind of like regurgitated information.
Yeah.
But when you have that new guy on, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, our best episode still was two guys that came down from Northern PA that nobody knew. They're not big on social media, but they're just absolute killers. Yeah. And it was exactly what you just said. It's not regurgitated information. They're just talking from what they do. And people seem to eat that up, and we did. I'll admit we did the catchy word phrase title bullshit.
I think
it
if any podcast says like, "Oh yeah, we don't do that," like you're lying. First of all, because you clearly do that. The main reason you do a podcast is to get listens, right? Like that's like the main reason. Like, you don't just put the stuff out and be like, whatever.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're doing it because you want people to listen to the show.
Yeah, exactly.
So for the title of this episode, of this show that we're doing right now, it will be Don't Listen to This Episode. It's just two podcasters podcasting. And just see what the fuck happens.
Two podcasts bitching about podcasts.
Don't listen. It's horrible.
Podcasts. I think 2 podcasts, 1 mic.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, okay.
Yeah, we could borrow it.
You know what?
Just do reverse psychology on all of them.
I'm not smart enough for that shit.
Well, you just got a bunch of ideas. Now we need ChatGPT.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait for some of these titles now that we're gonna come out with. They're gonna be so ridiculous.
Yep. Do the complete opposite of whatever like everyone's doing.
Yeah. Can you imagine? In this episode, we talked about ducks, waterfowl, training your dog, and then it was just nothing. Nothing. We didn't talk about any of those things. I like
Dude, that's the best way to do it. Like have a catchy intro and all that kind of stuff, and then like, so, they're pretty big. The Southern Outdoorsmen. Like I talk to them once in a while, but like I do have to say, when they put a title out, I listen to it and I'm like, what? That title has nothing to do with what you just talked about in this episode at all. Yeah. Like I can't remember the one they just did. The one they did, it was like something about hunting scrapes or something like that. And I was like, listen to the whole thing, and I was like, dude, there was nothing in the episode.
Wait a minute.
They probably said the word scrape. And then that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, they might have. But like after that episode, I kind of stopped listening to him for a little bit because I was like, I don't want to waste my time listening to this episode, and there's nothing of beneficial knowledge in this when I come to listen to, maybe something about scrapes or learn something I didn't know already.
Right. Yeah, I think it's like I'm sure you've done this. You click on a YouTube thing to watch a YouTube video, and the next thing you know, you're like, this has absolutely nothing to do with what I clicked on.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are the worst. Those are the worst that you go in on YouTube and you're like, how to fletch your arrows, right? And it's 14 minutes long, and you'd be like, it shouldn't be 14 minutes long. So the first 12 minutes is just an introduction of something, and then the last 30 seconds is like, all right, glue.
All right, since we're talking about shit that pisses each other off, what really pisses me off? So our show is like, it was supposed to be more about like cooking. We've kind of gotten away from that a little bit because like we hate cameras. So the thing that annoys me the most is I'll be looking up recipes. Why are recipes online? Do you got to scroll 17 pages to get to the goddamn ingredients?
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that shit.
It pisses me off. Like, I don't care how you cut the celery, dude.
Yeah.
Just get me to the ingredient list.
You have to scroll just to get to the ingredients without the explanation of the ingredients.
Yeah. And then you have all them like pop-ups that you're trying to like dodge and shit.
Yep.
Dude, it's terrible.
I've done that multiple times where my wife will send me something she wants me to make, and I'm like scrolling the website she has me go to, and I'm like, where the hell is this recipe at? And then eventually it comes to the bottom where there's a link you got to press on to open up another page that goes to another page. You got to scroll down. Then the recipe's at the bottom of that. I'm like, this Pinterest shit is for the ducks.
Yeah, we're just gonna get KFC. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I can't. My brain's shot now.
I think there's a frozen pizza in the freezer I can make.
That's fucking good, dude.
I hate like I'm sure you guys have done this too. Like how to grow your Instagram organically with true followers.
Stop it! You stop that conversation immediately.
you look on YouTube and it's like this person's telling you, like trying to describe it, but at the they never once say what to actually do. It's just like something you got to watch, and it's like I wasted 5 minutes or 15 minutes of my time watching this when nothing is going to help me with this thing.
Yeah, they just mostly tell you what not to do, and everybody knows that. Like everybody, yeah. Don't be racist.
Yeah.
Oh, shocker. Okay. Glad that works
damn
out.
it! That was one of my topics. Shit. Okay.
Just you gotta interact with your followers.
Oh,
well,
no
how
shit.
Do I interact when no one's interacting with me?
Yeah.
Right.
There's no comment. You start commenting on yourself.
Yeah.
Just making fake.
That's hysterical.
You can only give away so many free hats to like people who comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first 5 comments get 5 hats.
Yeah.
It's like no one's gonna read that.
Yeah. No,
Man, you put up a poll and like one person answers and it's like your mom, and you're like, oh Jesus.
Okay, Mom, you had 3 hats already. I can't give you another one.
You know, it's even worse when your mom doesn't vote.
Oh.
Like, then it's like, oh man,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Really rethinking this whole podcast thing.
My fucking
This might be the last episode. We might have just talked me out of doing a fucking podcast. We're gonna get into something like, I don't know, competitive crocheting or something.
Yeah. My interaction on Instagram is just a bunch of bots, with fucking half naked girls on it.
Oh,
I have like half of my followers are half naked girls.
It's amazing.
That have
And
0 followers, 0 posts. I'm like,
And you've never once followed them, but somehow they're there.
yeah.
Never. I'm not gonna say you don't look at them, but
Well, you open the account to see what the fuck it is.
right.
yeah.
about it.
And then they got you right there.
Hmm.
They got you. Yep.
So now I'm thinking.
I think you have to change your logo.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
To some like random blonde Russian chick that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah, I would rather it go back to sex sales than what it is now with the hunting industry. But
Yeah. Well, we tried the sex sales things. We started an OnlyFans. It didn't work out. Yeah.
Just change
Feet finder. You gotta do feet finder.
Well, we talked about
We
that.
talk about that too. We're changing your name to Craving Tits, bro. We gotta get fucking. We're
That
gonna
might
get
actually go
so.
somewhere.
We're
Well,
gonna
isn't there a bird?
Yeah.
named Tit?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just change your logo to craving tits over the bird of a tit.
Yeah, and then that's it, man. Whoa.
Yep. There you go.
All right, we'll give you a percentage for sure.
You guys got that for free. If you actually grow from that, I'd be very impressed.
I wouldn't be shocked though, because it's the internet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is very true.
Oh man.
Just a bunch of photos of tit mouths, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Eddie, what pisses you off since we're on this topic?
Lots of apart from crossbow, no Sunday hunting.
Oh yeah. Have you seen the stuff going on about the Sundays? We might actually. What do you think? You think we're gonna get it?
I'm optimistic, very optimistic about it. I would love Sunday hunting, but also I just want to make sure the deer population can really handle it. is my biggest concern. It's one full day of hunting. I know they only give out the certain amount of allocated tags for hunting, and I think it would be put more people in the woods on Saturday and Sunday, which could benefit the guys who are really hardcore into it that take off during the week, and they could, those people who are hunting Saturday and Sunday won't necessarily be hunting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday then.
I think we're in for a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I think it's for the better. I think it's going to the biologist's hands, not the Game Commission's hands. So there's going to be a real read on the numbers. Well, quote unquote numbers. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not being too optimistic, but I'm very excited for our future of it.
Yeah, and there's going to,
there's a lot of steam, and I like it. It's good steam. It's not the bad stuff.
Yeah, we'll have growing pains, but I'm like you said, Cody, I'm optimistic with it as well. I mean, the 46 other states have survived the Sundays, so I would think we would. Hopefully we get a little bit influx with non-residents to get a little bit more money pumping in the system, as much as, I hate New Jersey. It is what it is. That's really all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning it's going to be just like changing how to get your doe tags. Everybody went chaotic.
Were you here for the
the
antler restriction?
No, I was not here.
Dude.
So I think that's just going to be just that, and then it's just going to go back to
Gary
normal.
Alt was a great person for our deer herd, and they ran him out of town.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he said shoot does, and deer or bucks need to have point regulations and stuff like that, and the old folk times ran him out of town.
Fucking old people, man.
No one's going to tell me I can't
And
shoot
then
a spike.
look at our deer now.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
think there was actually just something that came out.
Yeah.
I forget. I saw it on Big Whitetail Dreams. He just posted about it. The average field dressed weight of an adult doe increased from 96 pounds to 110 from 2001 to 2021. The average field dressed weight of an adult buck increased from 105 to 137. Average antler beam diameter increased from 20 millimeters to 31. Average antler spread increased from 10 inches to 15.9 inches.
It's awesome.
That's because of Gary Alt.
Yeah. You
That's
can't,
awesome.
you can't argue that.
Science.
No.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. The deer herd has definitely increased. I think you don't see the 80 deer that all the old guys like my dad talked about. But you see higher quality of deer.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're trending. I don't know that we'll ever see, what they're saying. And sometimes they tell stories and then I start to not question everything they said. Like maybe there wasn't 80 in the field. Maybe there's only 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we're definitely trending that way. We might take a hit with the Sunday hunting, but you never know. Guys just might tag out earlier.
I think the only hit will be a year or two, and then it's just gonna go back to
100%.
Normal stuff. Because I think what's gonna happen is all your weekend warriors are gonna be like, oh, we're gonna get to hunt more because we're gonna be Sunday, and then they're gonna realize how hard hunting is, and they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm not gonna go hunt again.
Yeah, or their wife is going to be like, no, you're not hunting both days. You got to pick one, dude.
Yeah. So I don't think so.
I think my wife would say that. Either pick Saturday or Sunday. And I'd be like, okay, well, I'll pick the better of the two then, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I did that this past year where it was like, could I hunt? I asked her, would it be better if I were hunt mornings or evenings, depending on the weather?
Yeah.
I was like, can I hunt the morning instead of the evening or vice versa? And I mean, it worked for me. It worked, that she was okay with that. But yeah, Saturday and Sunday, also, I don't really want to miss football necessarily. I'm a big football fan, so watching the Eagles lose is something on my book every year.
Such a true Eagles fan.
It's true, coming from the heart.
What was your? I got to hear this. What was your percentage that you thought the Eagles were going to win that playoff game?
Oh, dude, it was 5%.
Every Eagles
fan
was like, no, they're not winning.
They're not. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield was really good. But yet also Jalen Hurts looked like shit. He looked like he had no motivation to do anything out there on the field. It actually absolutely pissed me off. Like I got to the point where I didn't want to watch the game.
Right. Well, what were we talking about before? sports?
That's the title for this podcast. The
Eagles
Eagles.
suck.
The Eagles.
Oh, football. Yeah. Football. Back to football.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. We've talked about this in the past about the not being able to hunt Sunday. It is kind of beneficial. Like, well, I shouldn't say we make it beneficial.
Right.
Yep. We can check cameras and not have to worry about bumping anybody, hurting anybody's hunt. You can, go to the grocery store and do some cooking, like watch football. So there is you just got to make what you got, right?
But even if you have Sunday hunted, you can literally still do all those things.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure.
So it doesn't really hurt anybody that's there or not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the people saying like, "Oh, move the opener back to Monday."
Let's
Like
not
you
talk
don't
about
have
that.
to go out Saturday.
Yes. Let's not talk about that either. that was like an hour and an after hour episode that we did.
Yeah,
Just that. It was
pretty much we all agreed with what you just said. Pretty much.
Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So I came across. I forget where I saw this at, but I really want to hear your thoughts on it and opinion. Actually, everybody in the room's thoughts and opinions. The cloning of animals to hunt.
What?
Go.
Oh my.
Not to put you in the spot or anything. Go.
This is the title of the show, by the way.
Wow. Cloning animals to hunt. Like
That's what I said
specifically
earlier
to
when
hunt.
this was brought up. I had
That
no idea about this.
I had never heard of that, to be honest with you. I know they were trying to make a woolly mammoth.
Yes.
That
was. I think that's next year.
25, right?
Yeah. Which is gonna be pretty cool, actually.
It would be.
I started putting in points.
In Russia.
There's only one woolly mammoth. It's nice. I love it. Clone. I don't think it would be a good idea at all. It's because then you think about how many messed up animals you're gonna have. That cloned animal gets to an actual real life animal. The DNA is gonna be so messed up. It's gonna be leading to those funky rack bucks or funky doe. Like it's just with 5 legs or 2 heads. Like it's just a bad idea. Like science is great, but sometimes you just gotta let science out of real life stuff.
Yeah, I think we just got kind of back to normal from COVID. Let's not throw ourselves into another fucking epidemic.
Well, here's a question that we're gonna ask Cody. Let's say they do legalize the cloning of animal for hunting. Would you eat one?
I don't think I would.
Damn,
Like,
my man.
it's 2 for 2. Me and Eddie will eat the shit out of him.
I don't know about eat the shit out of them.
You will eat it.
Well,
Shit
would there be a difference? Like, could you tell? Like, if I walked up to
I don't even know if it's. I need to see where this came from. I gotta
Listen. They're cloning the animal. You won't know the difference between a clone animal and a natural animal.
it will have a C on its ass or what?
Maybe they cut the ear so it has like a little point that's sticking out. That's it.
Oh yeah, like the stray cats, how you cut the tip of the ear off.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the only thing that you can tell.
I think I would donate it to Hunter Sharing the Harvest.
Feed the homeless with that shit.
Yeah.
Send it
Yeah.
to Kensington Beach.
Yep, maybe even more than me.
Dude, did you see that? Do you know about you're pretty close, so I'm sure you know about Kensington Beach in Philly.
No, I didn't hear about it. What happened?
Dude, just look it up on Instagram one day and just make sure you got like 25 minutes to spare.
Oh God,
It's just a bunch of zombie walkers on whatever they're on.
Fentanyl and opioids and all that shit. Yeah, it's insane.
The mayor got on the show and he's like, or not the show, not our show, got on a show.
Yeah.
And was like bad mouthing this Instagram account for like showing people what it actually looks like there, and he's trying to like portray it to be like this great. I live there; it's great. It's like, nah, dude, it's not.
No, dude,
Like
it's
not.
real bad.
Florida.
It's real bad, dude.
People from Florida made their way up here.
Pretty much. See, this is where global warming I agree with.
Yeah,
It's a problem. We need the cold to keep the fucking undesirables down south.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
insane.
man, yeah, the cloning thing. I saw that and I was like, we have to talk about this on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not hear about that. Also, I don't watch much news to begin with, so that might be why I didn't hear about that.
I'm trying to see. I don't remember where I saw it. I feel like it was like, 3 posts after the one that you were talking about with the different the changes from the antler restriction, but I don't remember who posted it. No, so my question is if they are they going to clone a bunch of 115-inch deer, or are they going to clone a bunch of 190?
Probably 190s. Yeah, probably 190s.
Yeah, but then it's like would you want to shoot a 190 then if they're just running around everywhere? It's like that right now, like 200-inch deer are getting more and more prevalent, right? So like you kind of like you'd still obviously any one of us want to shoot a 200-inch deer, like that's without any question, right? But when you get so many of them, it's like what's the fun in that? If there's all 190s running around,
It takes the challenge away.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. And plus, clone deer are probably stupid as hell, right? There's no way.
I don't know, man.
That's true. Are they going to clone a public land deer, or are they going to clone
I don't know.
an offense deer?
Fence deer.
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
So who?
Yeah.
So if say they do clone deer and they have a hunting season on them, who does the clone deer get more respect in the hunting world, or does the high fenced deer get more respect?
Well,
Clone.
is the clone deer also fenced, or is it out in public?
Oh shit!
So I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna nip the ear, so you'll know that you're like, oh, that's a clone deer, and then you gotta pay $200 for a tag for a clone deer.
So they're just going to give out another tag.
Yeah. There you go.
So you get a regular buck tag,
And-
a goat tag,
and a
and then
clone.
you got a clone deer tag.
And then you're like, oh, I shot the deer. His ear is nipped. I was like, no, that's the wrong nip, man. That's 45 degree. We're waiting for a 90-degree cut in the ear.
That's definitely that's a 2-year-old nip,
Yeah.
not even a 4-year-old nip.
Well, speaking of that, is it going to be like our trout? Our trout don't make it past a year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, good
So
point.
are the deer? Are
Ooh.
they going to die, or are they going to reproduce?
You just walk around, you find deadheads everywhere. Just all these deadheads laying around.
190s everywhere.
You have that one old guy who's just following the stock truck.
Yeah.
30-06.
That could cause an issue. That could definitely cause an issue.
Old man following the truck. He's like, oh, they dropped him on the fucking this road.
Like when's
Oh my
when's
God.
stocking season for clone deer? Is it going to be in June so they can acclimate, or is it right
Yeah, do you-
before the season?
Do you drop them? Do you release them where the Amish are, or do you release them where like where the big mountains are? And like there's hundreds of thousands of acres for them to just roam.
Man, that's a very very good question.
I think you release them where the Amish are, and just let the Amish like slaughter them, so then that way the real deer can just live.
I mean, that's not a bad take. Because they're going to shoot them regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care about no clip.
Well, they can do it, right? Isn't that the religious advantage of being Amish? That you can
Okay,
just shoot
I'm
whatever?
Amish then.
You can hunt right now.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's on your own property, if it's on their own property, they can shoot it pretty much whenever, and they can classify it as crop damage, which is BS because they're not damaging the crops; they're going out there and driving them and then shooting them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a real problem.
I think we've gotten to a point where like the coons are doing more damage than deer in some of these fields. In some areas, not in all areas.
Yeah. I was watching a video the other day on Facebook, and it was some guy he was you don't hear about it much, but trapping. Like apparently he's a trapping truck where he pays money to these people who bring in the felts and all that kind of stuff. This guy pulled in with 160 muskrat hides, and I was like, holy crap. And they were just eating the corn that he had in his field out in Iowa.
Holy shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I got a thing for the clone.
Yeah.
Only crossbow hunters can shoot them.
Mm-hmm. So then you have to have like a crossbow only area.
Yeah. Clone areas.
Yeah. Like like in the zombie, like the Z world or whatever. It'd be
like
it'd
a
be the
C map.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a D map, but a C map.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
I like it, man. I like the clone thing, bro. It would be
I think
hilarious.
It would be very funny. It'd be funny to see them interact with like real deer, because I guarantee you the real deer would know that it's a clone.
Be like, wait a minute. Wait a
Like what? Like they'd be just walking around, like you see like an actual like a 140-inch buck walking around this 190, like what the hell are you? Like just
Grandpa?
walking around and, like you don't even smell like a deer. What are you?
Now I'm interested. Now I kind of want this to happen because I just want to see, 20 years from now when it happens, we can come back to this last episode of the Craving Wild podcast.
Craving tits.
Well, do you think if it is a true statement, do you think they're talking about that because they see how much money is in the hunting industry now?
Oh,
Maybe.
there might be a way for them to just be like, hey, do you want to make another $2.5 billion?
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe clone deer can't get CWD.
that's a good possibility. Although if it has the same DNA as a regular deer, I wouldn't see why it couldn't get CWD
That's true.
unless they keep them completely separate on a different farm or whatever until all the CWD takes out all the other white-tailed deer. But then think about it. If every deer is on the same farm, it's going to get CWD anyway, right?
Yeah.
True.
So it means
Well, according to Ted Nugent, there's no CWD, so.
well, that's all. That's I don't know what to say about him, to be honest. He's a little crazy, but
Uncle Ted is out there, buddy.
he is. He definitely is out there.
So we just automatically jumped to the conclusion that they were going to clone deer.
Oh, what are they cloning?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I thought
Are they going to start with ducks?
You're looking at the phone. I thought you found something.
Oh, I did find. Does cloning have a future with hunting? And it's Africa hunting,
but
thread.
That probably feels already like cloning over there. So
That makes sense, right? Over in Africa, because I mean I guess they have trouble with keeping certain game alive,
Right.
and they make so much money off it too to feed tribes and to bring business to Africa too. So I mean that would make sense over there because I don't think their conservation efforts are a little different than ours over here. But they it's weird over there because they on the property you buy the animal. Like if you own land over there,
yeah,
you own
the
animal
animal.
that's on your property, and if it gets off to someone else's, you can be fined for that.
No shit.
Yeah.
That'd
It's
be-
very different. And I think, man, it's like almost like Europe. Is it Europe? Where like if you have land, you own whatever on that land too. So like if you have whitetails on that land, you own those deer. Like actually own them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like no one else. If someone else shoots them, that person, whoever shot that, is like in big trouble because that's technically your whitetail.
Interesting.
So the first clone deer that they know of, fawn was born May 23rd, 2003.
Oh,
No wonder my deer tastes like shit. It's probably a clone one.
Maybe.
yeah, we might be hunting clone deer right now.
Oh fuck.
Like, think about that. We might be, because 1980 is when they said, oh, we had the most hunters, 1.3 million. And then the population took a big hit. So, like, what if they just started cloning deer right away? Like, they had this 110, and they put something in the DNA where it could be, it could grow itself every year. And then you have 200-inch buck now. And it's like, oh.
You like that?
We're hunting clone deer.
So this is Whitetails Unlimited. It's
Okay.
this West Hoosen said when asked about the cost of cloning a commercial whitetail deer in the future, he said he has no idea at this time, but if you can sell it for $50K and it costs $25K to raise,
Shit.
Wow.
so we're getting into cloning whitetails, boys.
50,
Yeah, I would say if it's that
50
much money, I mean,
grand. 50
Dang.
grand.
First of all, why does it cost $25,000 to raise a deer?
right.
Probably the cloning
Well,
itself is 23.
sperm costs 10.
But is it, I guess that's all lumped into the raising of the animal?
Maybe.
Because corn's like $13.
Yeah. Well, the sperm
Right.
itself costs 10.
Yeah.
So now you need a doe. So what's that doe cost you?
Well, you don't
Probably
need
$8?
do you need sperm for you don't need sperm for a clone, right?
Well, I'm
So-
just saying to raise a deer.
Yeah, for like a normal
Like as
situation.
in a pen, yeah.
like if you're doing embryo stuff where you're like injecting a doe,
Yeah.
then then it will be like then you have to get that sperm and put it inside that doe. That has
That's
to have
probably
a
where those
perfect egg.
numbers are coming from.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
yeah. Because I don't think they have. I can't see them having a, where they have a lab where they just like inject an egg that's just sitting there with sperm and then letting it, incubate in like some machine. Like it's probably through a doe.
Pumping
is
them out like chickens.
crazy.
What was that?
Pumping them out like chickens.
I mean,
Yeah.
what?
Literally like chickens.
I'm gonna have to do more research. I can't read and think and talk on a podcast at the same time,
Is that the hardest thing?
dude. It's so hard. I'm like, I can't read to begin with, so it's just a struggle to right off the start.
I can't read that fast.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's funny.
Oh shit! All right. Well, now that we know the title of the podcast,
I shot a clone deer.
Yeah, I shot a clone deer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I like it.
What would you pay to shoot a clone deer?
Nothing.
Probably my tag.
Yeah.
I would on my tag be like, I don't think I'd pay extra money. And like, if I'm going out of state, maybe that'd be, just the price of the tag plus the outfitter fee. Like maybe then I would shoot, like if they had a good population of clone deer, but yet also I don't want to really hunt a fenced in area.
Right.
So it'd be like, would it be worth it then? I don't know. I guess the experience would be worth it maybe.
Just say you did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How big does a fencing area have to be before it becomes like irrelevant? How many acres have to be fenced in before like it's like you're hunting normal deer?
I don't know. The one next to my dad, that's only like 5-6 acres.
Oh yeah, that's like a
Yeah.
That's a fence one.
That's like you can sit on one corner and you can see the other corner, and then you can just shoot
Correct.
all around.
Yeah.
yeah, they shoot it out the bucket like at a rodeo when they shoot them out of the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10,000?
Yeah, I think if what would suck is that deer comes out and it just goes and lays down for 3 hours over on the other corner, and all you see is its ass end just sticking out. You can't do nothing about it.
No.
Yeah.
Throw a grenade maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you walk 5 miles, I walked 5 today when I was scouting. That's how many acres is that? There's 400
Dude,
yards.
I can't read. You're asking me to do math? What are we doing?
There's 400 yards in an acre, right? Or a mile. Yeah, there's 400 yards in a mile.
Okay.
I can't do math. I can't really. I'm just spitballing here. So I walked a good amount of miles, right? 5 miles. So if you had, I would say at least if you had like 500 acres of fenced in land, maybe that would do.
I think
Because I think in an acre there's. Oh, I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm not even gonna try it.
I'm gonna say if it's a square, let's say it's a square property,
Yep.
5 miles to do just one side. So it'll be 20 miles to do the whole thing.
A 5-mile square.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that would be good.
That would be, yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, I would say that'd be because that deer would have a good amount of, like, and you're not, that fenced area is not going to be overpopulated with deer either. So you're probably going to have a handful of doe and, very, even little more amount of buck.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be shooting the doe if you're hunting a fenced area.
I would still not be able to find a shed there.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
Fence, deer, and I still have problems finding fucking sheds.
I saw you had quite the wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, what happened to your pants, bro?
R.I.P.
Yeah, seriously, R.I.P. for real. Those pants, I think I had them when I was a kid. Like when I was 12, I think I started using them. They were hand-me-downs from my dad, so they were very big on me at that time. And I was walking up in Bald Eagle, and you don't have to cut that out because Bald Eagle's so huge it's irrelevant, not relevant to anyone. But I was walking up there, and I went underneath one log, and like I heard something. I looked down. I was like, "Oh, my pants just ripped," and like I had like 2 more hours of like scouting to do. I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna keep walking like this right now. I'm glad I wore like compression pants underneath of it and not just boxers or something like that, or freeballed it. Like honestly, like that would have been terrible. But then I keep walking, and then they keep ripping more because I'm going over logs, under logs, and I'm like, well, these pants are pretty much toast now. Like,
Dude.
Yeah, it
Such
was.
such a fucking funny photo. bro.
How old were those pants? Would you say?
I would say 18 years. Yeah.
I just got rid of a pair like that. They were brush pants. And the only thing that's left is the brush front.
Really?
I haven't worn those pants in probably like 3 years either. Like I haven't. And I'm just like, you know what? I'll just wear these today. Like, what the heck?
Good.
Well.
Good luck pants.
Yeah, good luck pants. They were not, well, the funny thing is when I went and pulled my one camera, so I went and pulled 4 cameras that day, and I was walking up to the one. I was like, oh, cool. It's there. That's great. It's great information that it's still there. I open it up, and it wasn't on.
Ah.
And it was soaking since like the first day of rifle season. So, yeah. Then,
Damn.
yeah. And there was actually buck tracks right in front of it because there was still snow. And it looks like the buck actually walked up to the camera and walked away. And I was like, oh, cool. I get to see what came up to my camera. Nah, don't get to see that. And then the other ones, there was nothing on it when I pulled them. So I got those 4 cameras at least, though.
Yeah. I had 2 cell cams out. And I had to shut them both off when we got that snow and it got sunny. I was just nonstop photos all day, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just shut them off.
Yeah.
Well, shut them off a cellular service.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go get them.
Yeah.
I put one the other day. No photos yet.
Antonio has a very hate relationship
With trail cameras.
I'm right there with you. Like
I
they're
suck at
cool. They're cool, like to see the pictures of like deer that you get on camera. Like I hung 4 today, and I'm probably not them soaked till probably August or September when I go and hang my tree stand again. But yeah, I mean, I love seeing the pictures of them. But then you get your hopes up for these. You see these big buck, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm in the game. And then the first one that walks by is a little 7 that maybe some people won't shoot, and then you shoot that 7. And it's like, hey, I know there's bigger ones in the area, but you walked out first. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm hungry now.
Yeah. You taste good.
As I get older, and like time becomes more and more limited, my give a shit about shooting a big deer drastically gets smaller and smaller. Now, don't get me wrong, that's the final goal, right? Like, we start every season off 150. And then and that we'll just say what? July. All right, 150. Yeah. That's the goal. And then August comes, it's like, all right, 145. And then September it's like, all right, 130s. We'll settle for 130s. And then like November comes and it's like, all right, if it's legal, we're gonna think about it.
We're gonna think about it.
Dude, I go the first sit, I'm thinking, okay, big buck that walks out, gonna smash it. No small bucks this year, just whatever a big buck gets me pumped up, gonna shoot it. And then it comes a second day, I'm like, you know what? Legal, it's down.
Yeah.
it's that's kind of my mindset from here on out, is just anything that I grab the bow and makes me grab the bow first.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna shoot it. Like that's because I found myself chasing or wanting to chase and get a big buck because I wanted to kind of like show like, hey, I can do this. I can hang with the big guys. I don't really care anymore, to be honest. I don't. No one cares. Like after that 10 seconds of like
nobody cares.
After the 10 seconds of like scrolling through Instagram or whatever, like no one cares. No one cares about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like going all season trying to like kill yourself over this one deer worth the 6 seconds of Instagram fame that you got.
Yeah. Absolutely. But hey, some people they love that. I guess they live off that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And to each his own. Like I could give 2 shits if that's what somebody wants to do. By all means.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
I got too much shit doing.
Too much shit. Yeah.
I gotta do too much.
We were talking. Our last guest on was he's like one of those guys who's just obsessed. Yeah. He's one of those guys, right? He's a guy who he doesn't give a shit about Instagram, but he's one of those guys who's obsessed with shooting, just not like going after chasing 4.5, 5.5-year-old deer. And then you got like me and Antonio. Eddie's, I would say, is more on the trophy side. I would say you're more definitely on the trophy side. Me and Antonio are just like, nah, we're just gonna.
Yeah, I get a kick. The thing is, I get a kick out of I get a kick more out of the adventure of hunting or the hunting itself or the struggle than the actual kill itself. I can, like, I don't. Well, every time I shoot a deer, I feel like shit that I shot a deer, but I feel good at the same time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. First time we met, I told you guys I'd rather shoot a 130 with a fucking crazy story than a 150 that I just went into a tree stand and was like, shot it, good.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. I don't know. I like the road, I guess, is what it is.
The process is really fun. Like the whole scouting. Like, I don't like going through briars, but I end up doing it anyway.
Yeah, nobody does.
Yeah. I did that today, and I wish I could like got pictures of it, but like I got a fucking briar in my lip. Like I don't know where this thing came from, but it hooked on my lip, and I started pulling away from it, and my lip started pulling. I was like, this is not okay. I was crying. My eyes were watering for 5 minutes straight, and I was like, this is absolutely terrible. I kept checking my lip to make sure I wasn't bleeding or anything like that.
Make sure it was still there.
It was bad. Yeah, make sure it was still there. Is exactly right. That's the second time I got hit in the face with a briar, and that I don't know which one was worse, honestly.
That sucks. Briars are just the devil.
Yeah, they literally are. Yeah.
What's Eddie? Where's your thoughts at now moving into the season? Since Eddie shot a really nice buck this year, and I don't know if we talked about this or not. We might have, but like, where's your thought process now? Is it still you're still chasing the biggest deer you see this year?
Oh yeah, I think asked when Muzz was here about it. It's pretty much going into it. I want to kill the biggest buck I can.
So nothing's really changed.
No. Just we'll see what happens.
Okay, cool.
I'm not focused
cool
on one direct deer anymore, but I'm gonna go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah. I definitely think like the goal of shooting the biggest one you could possibly get is I think almost everyone's like mindset going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not because trail cameras nowadays. First off, when you have 20 of them, you see so much, and you're like you saying earlier, your hopes get so high.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, that deer's moving off. He's not even from there. It's just a summer pattern. So unless it's a standard deer there, it's hard to get whipped up about a particular deer. You know, I'm more whipped up right now about the white one. I hope my white one's still around. I haven't seen her in about 3 weeks, but
It's tough to see her now, though.
correct. I mean, all my deer are herded up. I don't see any deer anymore, so it's just one of them things. She was alive the last time we had not this past snowstorm, but the snowstorm before. But I haven't seen since. But I know she's a local deer, so I'm more excited about that than I am buck this year, I guess you could say. A buck will be cherry on top, but that's probably my main goal this year is going to be the white one.
Now you talking all white like an albino?
No, piebald. It's a piebald.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
she's beautiful. She's I'm calling her Deuce because last year she stood a certain way and her pattern looked like it said the 2 TWO. It said 2 on her. So I'm gonna call it. Her name's Deuce.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
yeah, I'm gonna hope I get an opportunity. I saw her last year. It was her first year she's around. She's a little thing, and then I watched her up until rifle season. I didn't have no tags, and it was the first time I saw her in the woods where I could shoot her. But I'm happy I let her go because she's freaking little. Hopefully she's a normal sized deer this year. And
Would you get her full body mounted?
no, I'll probably get a tanned and then put it over the back of the couch or something. I just made a beaver hoop that I really like, so I might even do that. Put it in a big square. I just thought about that.
You should definitely get her full body mounted jumping over the rail.
That would be about fucking $2,000.
Way more than that, probably.
It's worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
You put her on the roof.
Says
in
the
Christmas?
guy. Says the guys who do European mounts. Worth it.
Yeah.
Cody,
totally
what's
worth
your
it.
thoughts? European mount or shoulder mounts?
Dude, I'm European mounts all day.
Oh yeah.
That's
I have
right.
one shoulder mount. It was just the first buck that I got. My dad got it for me. So I the only way, my wife said I should have got the 9-point I got shoulder mounted because she was like, that thing is huge. But I was like, I could get something bigger. That's my whole process.
I
Like
get something bigger.
it was like what if I get something bigger? Like you get a big one year, but what if you get a bigger one next year? It's like
then
well,
you
gotta
have to-
get
yeah.
Jordan.
I actually ran into the problem. My deer I shot this year, I have 2 on the wall, and it puts them into shame. Like they can't be in the same room. It just they don't just don't look right together.
Yeah, I got 2 down in North Carolina this year, so that was I didn't get anything in PA, but I got the 2 down in North Carolina, so it took a lot of pressure off, and I got those 2 European mounted, and that's really all I have in the studio is just European mounts.
Yeah.
I like them just because they're smaller. It takes up far less room.
Yeah.
And you can take them off and like look at them again. Like
Yeah.
shoulder mounts, I mean, I guess you can hold it there, but it's not the same as
No.
holding the rack in your hand.
Yeah, I told them the other day that the biggest one that I kill, I still take out. Even when I take a shit, I grab it with me and just look at it. Oh, I haven't seen you in a year, so let me just fucking grab it.
Yeah,
It's there's something about grabbing a fucking skull,
Yeah.
a set of rack that is like,
Yeah.
Dan is dying
all
over
guys.
here.
We love a good set. We love a nice rack. So I mean,
Yeah.
we like to grab the rack and look at it, right?
Yeah, that's what I like.
If you clone Deuce, would it say 2 on the side again?
Oh shit!
Ooh.
.1.
0.1.
You'll say 2.1. Nice. I like it. The
Or would it be
upgraded version.
Yep.
would it be like
It'll
quad?
have
Quad.
Have like
Ooh.
4 on the back instead of deuce.
Oh
Ooh,
shit!
shit.
just squared.
Just
How about 2 squared?
This is so stupid.
Well, welcome to the show. This is typically how they go.
Yeah.
What are you getting into now? Are you just like kind of scouting, shed hunting?
I don't really shed hunt. I end up scouting more than anything. If I stumble upon a shed, I gladly will take that. But the biggest shed I found is just a little spike. Wish it was close to me in the studio. I'd show it to you, but that was the biggest one I found. And I just, like we talked about a little earlier, like the whole process of scouting, it's an all year round thing for me. Just I'm not big into turkeys. I'm not big into small game, waterfowl, anything like that. Like it's mostly just whitetails nonstop. Like big game stuff, I like hearing stories about other things, but I just love the chase of the whitetail, really. And it's literally scouting 365 for me. Not all the time, but like at least once a week, maybe twice a month, something like that. I'm out scouting, putting on as much miles as I can to hopefully be successful next season.
What's your process look like when you're, say I don't know, there's a spot by you that you haven't touched. Where how do you start?
Well, I mean, so first I use OnX a lot. So like I usually track my routes, all that kind of stuff. So with the game lands around me, I've covered them pretty much everywhere I could go. But what I try to look at then is like the spots that I didn't go with the tracker. So like if like I made a circle and I didn't hit that middle part right there, but I put cameras around it, then it's like, okay, I got to go to that circle to see what's going on inside there. Because that's one thing I like about tracking, no matter what mapping app you use. If you start tracking, then you can be like, okay, this spot here I need to put a little bit more time in, or at least, grid search that a little bit, see what's going on in there, especially if you have those cameras surrounding the area right there. Then you kind of like, okay, this is where they are then, or where they're heading, or where they're bedding, or whatever. Like, it's fun to do that process. But then it's also like, it's like a multi-year process for that.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So you said you don't like turkeys. I like that.
Yeah.
I like.
I like hearing them. I've chased after a few turkeys. There was one particular that actually I think ended my turkey chase. I was on him like 3 times. I ended up right underneath this tree, which I know is too close to be to a turkey. And I saw him come out of the roost and go down. And I was like, I gave a little bit and I went down after him. I was calling to him. He would call. I would sit down. Then he would stop. And then be like, it'd go back and forth. And I keep trying to chase after him. He he got the best of me. And I was just like, you know what? If this is turkey hunting, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this turkey hunting thing. This is too much time. Drive an hour down here to get on turkeys, and then you hear them everywhere. Like I'd hear them everywhere where I'm at, and I'm not good. I guess I'm not talking sexy enough to them. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I gave up on turkeys like a year and a half ago.
I think the only way to make turkey hunting fun is if you were able to do it with a rocket launcher.
Blow up the whole woods. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I think that would be realistically the only way.
Yeah. I like them, but I get frustrated with them
Yeah,
faster than I do with any other animal.
yeah, yeah.
But I do like it.
I love them.
I think there's a law in PA that you can't shoot them out of trees. I don't know if I'm correct with that or not, but like,
I don't know if it's a
you can
law. I
shoot 'em.
think it's morally, ethically involved type shit.
Yeah. Okay. So if I could shoot a turkey out of a tree, like that one that I was saying was roosted right above me, I maybe I would have liked it because I would have got one down at that point. But I don't know. I like I said, I love hearing them gobble and just go crazy in the trees and even on the ground. I've seen multiple turkey just fan up. Like it's cool to see them.
Yeah. I don't know why is it that people get frustrated with them.
I think because there's so much other shit to do in the spring.
Yeah.
Maybe spring and you're so like worn out.
Yeah, you can go turkey. You can go trout fishing. You can like go for scouting. You do anything because it's nice outside now.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the fact that they're there and you still can't kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing. Is like you hear them, they're there, but you can't kill them. Like they have to come to you. It's like complete opposite with whitetails. You don't know they're there. You're just pretty much waiting for them to come out, take the right trail, all that kind of stuff. Turkey, that's like, there's no trail for a turkey. You can't set up on a trail and just wait for a turkey to walk by. You just hear them. It's like, this is frustrating because I know you're right there.
And you can buy a butterball for like $17.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Clone turkeys are the thing, right?
Yeah, clone turkeys. 28-pound turkey just walking around with one leg.
Yep.
Yeah, all I
7
gotta
beers.
do is walk to aisle 9 and it's there every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I do.
In that sense.
Yeah. I do like it. It's just I get for some reason I get frustrated with them so faster than any other animal that I hunt. So I don't know what is it about it that I'm like fuck.
The challenge is what makes me come back. I love hearing them. I love chasing them. I love everything about it. And depending on the time of year, depends if I like archery hunting more or if I like turkey hunting more. Just depends on the time of year. If you ask me middle of May, I love turkey hunting better. If you ask me in the middle of October, I like archery hunting
All right,
better.
what happened if it was the same in November?
I don't know.
You don't know?
If they're not gobbling, no.
No, let's say what happens in May happens in the first week of November too.
The first week of November, okay.
Yeah.
I'll turkey hunt the first week of November because I like to deer hunt the second week of November.
Yeah, but you get 2 turkey tags.
We'll see what happens.
That's hysterical. Yeah, you just picture him with a bow.
He definitely needs that Sunday hunt so he can hunt turkeys on Sundays and deer on Saturday.
Yeah.
Shit.
My new work schedule, I really hope they change everything to Sundays.
Oh, that would really benefit you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it benefits everybody, but now it benefits me
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I get an extra. I'll have 3 days to hunt instead of 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, the 4-day work week is nice.
Yeah.
That is. I think everyone should have to do that.
Yeah.
4-day work week.
I agree.
Or even 3 12s.
Yeah.
Nice.
3 12s and then every other week working 8 just to make the time.
Yep.
That would be.
Yep.
We used to do that work.
Okay.
Yeah, long time ago. That was fantastic.
That'd be real
You're
nice.
dog shit tired by the end of your last day, but
Yeah.
then you have 4 days off.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 day to sleep and then other 3 to just have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, that's typically exactly what happens. The first day is just all about catching back up on sleep.
Just watching all your Netflix shows and then
Yeah.
and then next 3 is okay. Now I gotta do stuff.
Yeah, doing 3 loads of laundry and sleeping. That's pretty much all you're doing.
This fun. Do you do anything else? Just whitetail, like you said, right? Nothing
Pretty much
else.
whitetail. I like to. I dabble in fishing once in a while, not too much. Like I said, I'll go out turkey hunting once or twice maybe.
Yeah.
But then eventually just the first couple hours of actually chasing them, and then after that just turns into whitetail scouting again.
Alright.
But I like I did bow fishing.
Oh, see, I want to do that shit.
Yeah, that was fun. Didn't shoot anything, but it was fun to attempt to shoot them. Like there was an orange, it was an orange goldfish. I remember we all there was 4 of us in a boat, and we all 4 shot at this orange goldfish that was swimming slow as hell, and we all missed him.
Nice.
And it would have been the coolest thing ever. Like the guide on the boat was like, "Shoot that thing! Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it!" It's like, we're trying, dude. Like, clearly we're trying.
Dad just told me a story about one when he was younger, on the Susquehanna with the Holtwood. When they drop the water, a bunch of rocks, you get a bunch of pools. Catch a lot of different fish. And Dad said every summer he'd end up finding this goldfish in one freaking.
No shit.
Yeah, and he tried for 3 summers in a row and never got the bastard.
No kidding.
He just told me about that when he was up here.
No fucking
Yeah.
shit.
Could you imagine the year
A
to year?
goldfish in this Susquehanna, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that shit?
Yep.
Somebody's fucking pet named Joe.
It's probably the same goldfish that he was trying to
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah, yeah, it probably was. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking.
But no, I like catfishing. Catfishing is fun. I just like the fight. I went shark fishing a few times. That was pretty fun. But yeah, it's. I just like to get out and explore. Really,
Yeah.
like I go bear hunting, too, which I never shot a bear. I only see bear outside of the season.
Usually.
Where do you end
sounds
up
about
going?
right.
Where do you end up going for that?
So when I had the cabin up in Clinton County, I would go out every single year for that. Since I think I was 15, I was going out for that till the age of 28 right now.
Okay.
I'm 29 right now, but like I lost the cabin or got out of the cabin at the age of 28. So stopped doing that. I want to get back into bear hunting in that area or where my cabin is now. But bear is pretty fun. The thing I like about it is going to the check stations and seeing everyone else back in with their trucks and weighing the bears in. Like that was cool. I think the biggest one I saw and weighed in was like 780. And then there was also a truck that had like 9 bear in the back of it, which was insane to me. But yeah, that 700-pound bear, its paws were like the size
insane.
bigger than my face.
I would have to shoot that next to the car because I don't have enough friends to fucking drag that shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not,
there was,
I'm not your friend.
Not your friend.
At that moment, I'm not.
Yeah. So you said that you hunt in North Carolina. Do you do a lot of out-of-state hunts?
No. So last year, I went out to Illinois with an outfitter out there in the late season. Saw a 180-inch buck and a 150. So the 180 was like 120 or 80 yards away, one of the two. And the tree I was in was like the size of my thigh. And I was shaking the whole time when I saw him that far away. But he was I think he's a 200-inch buck now, they said, out there. They still have him on camera. He's still alive out there.
No shit.
The other one was with a bunch of doe. He came out like it was the last day, and I was set up on the edge of the cornfield, and he came out like I think it was 60 yards away with a bunch of doe, and I was like, I got to do something. It's like the last 45 minutes late, so I grunted at him. He turns, looks at me, and I'm like, oh, he's going to come over here. Turns back, doesn't even care.
Yeah.
And then I grunt at him again, and his body turns completely to me. And I was like, okay, maybe he will. And then the does spooked off, and that he spooked off.
Yeah.
But Illinois was pretty fun. And then I went to North Carolina this year with my dad and my grandfather, which that's why I wanted to go down, because with them. It was a rifle hunt, very different than PA because you hunt over bait down there. So it was a different experience altogether. But those were the two. And then I went down to Maryland, actually, for a 1 day to hunt down there for 6 hours with some guys from PA here in the Presence and the Every Outdoorsman. But I'd like to do it more. Local states, though, like Maryland, Ohio, Virginia,
Yeah.
New York, maybe.
New York's fun. That's like a good, backcountry type experience for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You can get away up there.
Hopefully
Yeah.
we do it this year.
What do you mean, hopefully?
Hopefully, no, you don't have to go to a jiu-jitsu fight again.
Did I or did I not hunt in New York?
2 days instead of the
Hey,
4.
better than 0 days.
It's better than.
It's better than 0 days.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. I'll be tagged out by then. I won't be able to go. No, actually, you get 2 tags there, which is nice.
In New York?
Yeah, you get a bow tag and a rifle tag.
Oh, really? For a buck?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yep. I don't think you can like cross the. I gotta do more research on this, but I'm not sure you can use the bow tag during the rifle season.
Okay.
I don't think.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think you're allowed to bow hunt. I don't know. New York's kind of weird. They got a little. Their rules are a little weird, but they got they got some good shit.
Yeah, like certain areas you can't bow hunt, right?
Oh, I
Or,
have no
like,
idea.
When the certain I guess it's like certain or no, it's crossbows. So like there's certain seasons for crossbows.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a certain time frame crossbows come in.
Yeah, it's like the last week or 2 of their archery season. So essentially,
Yeah.
the week before rifle season, you can
Yeah.
crossbow hunt.
Which I think honestly, I think more states should do that with how big crossbow hunting is getting now. I think having that separate season for crossbows would help a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you need a medical card to use that crossbow.
Yeah. I think yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I think they should be able to use it the last 2 weeks of the season.
Last 2 weweeks, like in January.
yeah. Like with the flintlock guys, just a bunch of flintlocks and crossbolts shooting at each other.
Let me tell you something. I would 100% get a crossbow if it's the last 2 weeks of the season. I hate my flintlock.
Oh yeah, dude, flintlocks are the worst invention ever.
Mine's still loaded in my gun safe because I wouldn't go off the last day. So I snuck up to 10 yards on a doe, and the thing wouldn't go off.
No shit.
Yeah, it was snowing. I was pulling cameras on a big piece near me, and I got them pulled. I jumped the one thing I wasn't aware of is how deer can blend in so well when you're 5 yards away from them. And these there was 4 doe that were bedded right next to this logging trail, and I literally was 5 yards away, and I stopped, and then all of a sudden I see these 4 doe just get up and run, and I'm like, where the hell were you? I didn't see you at all. And they were just, and it wasn't thick either. It was just little shrubs, like little trees they were hiding in. But then I saw 3 others that day, and then there's one big doe, I think, or could have been a shed buck, I don't know, in this field, and I was sneaking up on her. It was snowing a little bit, so it was making some noise as it hit the ground. So I was able to slowly walk up to her, and I got up there, and my gun didn't go off. So yeah, that was I was like, well, shit. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember, it's loaded and don't load it again next year.
Yeah. No, I have one of those. It was at the Great American Outdoor Show. He was selling loaded things you put on the end of a barrel, and I have the loaded thing in there.
Oh
So-
shit, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, it is. But also, I think I had my ramrod in there because I was trying to twist it out with the ball remover, and it won't come out. So, gonna have to figure that out.
Buy a crossbow.
Yeah.
I might, if it's the last 2 weeks of the season, I might go buy the cheapest crossbow I can find and be like, hey, last 2 weeks, I'll let her fly.
That's what I'm saying. You can only hunt Sundays if you have a medical card
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right, I like that. So
with a crossbow.
with a crossbow,
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that'd be beneficial. I mean that's how crossbows were originally intended for medical purposes, the elderly, for young kids getting in. But then I think
The elderly.
crossbows have. I think the manufacturers have paid a lot of money to their conservation, the game commission, all that kind of stuff, and that's why it's now taken where it is now.
Oh yeah, I think it should be illegal to market crossbows. Kind of like it's like you can't have a cigarette commercial.
Yeah,
You shouldn't be able to have a crossbow commercial.
which is weird. You can't have a cigarette commercial, but you can have all these alcohol commercials.
Yeah, true. True.
Hey, don't smoke; it could kill you. But have a beer because that'll kill you in less time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It'll kill your liver instead.
the same as fucking no hunting Sunday, but you can fish on Sunday.
Yep. You can fish. You can do a lot of things on Sunday. You can
Anything.
you can really do anything on Sunday.
You can do absolutely everything.
Liquor stores are open on Sunday, so
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's about time we change that rule.
Yeah. I'm sure they're cloning deer on Sundays.
I'm sure they are. They are. Strip clubs are open on Sunday too, so I mean, it's a whole thing.
What's a strip club?
I don't know.
Good. All right. Yep.
There's a strip club. Well, I'm not gonna say the name of it here, or should I?
You should, yes.
Because it's fucking hilarious. It's by one of the clients that I have where I work. It's north of it, and it is Leave It to Beaver.
That's hilarious.
It's one of the best strip club names I've come across.
Oh my god, that is
Leave It to
fantastic.
Beaver. Yes.
Oh man, talk about a waste of money.
Yeah, for real. My one buddy who, we went on my bachelor party. He spent $2,000
Oh,
at the strip club. He had no idea what he was buying either. Like they just like kept taking his card and like saying, "Hey, we got to buy this alcohol and all that kind of stuff. It's going to go to your buddy who is, for the bachelor and all that kind of stuff." And I told him, I was like, "Dude, we didn't get anything. Like no one sent us anything. So you were paying all that money for literally nothing." Yeah, that was in Atlantic City. So
Well, yep. Don't go there. That whole place is just a bad time.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's
It
a good time for like 8 hours, and then it's a bad time
Right.
for like the next
Yeah.
3 months.
It's a good day trip.
Yeah, day trip. Oh shit! All right, man. We're coming up on pretty much the time we like to kind of cut these episodes. You want to let everybody know where to find you before we get
Yeah,
going?
if you go on Instagram, it's Backcountry PA Podcast. My personal is Cody _Backcountry PA Podcast. YouTube, Backcountry PA Podcast. Facebook, the same thing. And we're going to be up at Huntstock this year in Massachusetts. So if anyone wants to check us out
shit.
there, we're going to have a booth up there.
Nice.
It's going to be fun. First time we're going to have a booth anywhere. So hopefully we can get enough merch together to go with this.
bring stickers.
Yeah, I have some stickers. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. But yeah, it's been awesome having being on the podcast. I almost said having you guys on the podcast. It's been awesome.
It's different, right?
It is.
That's funny.
I used to, yeah.
Fucking muscle memory. Yeah.
For real. No, I really appreciate it, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah, no, man. Thanks for coming on. I thought for sure when I asked you to come on, you'd be like, "Yeah, no, not with you guys, not with you bums."
No, I love talking whitetails or just honestly just BSing. To be honest, like
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun meeting new people and doing new things.
For sure, man. For sure. Eddie, you got anything?
I'm good, man.
All good.
Good.
Antonio,
Yes, sir. It was awesome talking to you, buddy.
same. Yep. Same.
Good
same
luck this
deal.
year, man.
Hey, good luck. I'll be keeping up with you guys.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Get yourself a new pair of pants.
I will. I broke in another one that was 18, maybe 16 years old today, and they did not rip, so they work.
Off to a good start. All right, you guys know what to do. Satisfy that craving. Be wild.